Do you remember the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy and Steve Martin? I learned a pretty interesting story about the way that Steve Martin treated John Candy, especially when he was going through some hard times. See, during the filming of 1986, John Candy was going through kind of a rough patch in his personal life. He was struggling with confidence and reportedly felt like he was kind of becoming the fat, funny guy stereotype in Hollywood. On set, he was starting to kind of grow quiet between takes, which was unusual for him. He was usually pretty loud and trying to make everybody laugh. And so one day after they wrapped a particularly emotional scene, the one near the motel room when Candy's character Dell admits how lonely he really is in life, Steve Martin went over to him and said something that Candy's family later shared meant a lot to them. Steve told John that you make people feel seen, you don't play the funny guy, you play the guy we're all afraid to be, and that's why people love you. And Candy teared up at this. The two of them hugged, and from that point on, they grew genuinely close in real life. And Steve Martin even defended John Candy later on in interviews when critics called his performances too broad. After Candy's passing in 1994, Steve Martin was asked about him during an interview, and he said that John was as kind of a soul as I've ever known. You could feel it just being near him. Making that movie with him was one of the happiest times of my life. If you've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it's probably one of the best Thanksgiving time movies you could ever watch. I'd highly recommend it.